It's the end of an era. The time when a man in the street could just immediately walk out from a Rolex authorized dealer and profit heavily from a well-known watch model. Is it time to say goodbye to Rolex flippers? Keep watching to find out. Rumor has it that Rolex has a new policy that prohibits a customer from purchasing more than 3 Rolex models in a single year. Well, good luck trying to get your hands on a Rolex. Are some authorized dealers in crisis mode as a result of the most recent Rolex direction? These flippers are the first to suffer as a result of this correction. Yes, some of them are going to survive, and during the past years, they have made some decent money. Others, maybe, stocked up toward the end and stayed with a few pieces, believing they would eventually succeed. And if this took place, this could just completely eliminate any profits they had previously earned. We'll have to wait and see till the next market increases, which, who knows when, but it is what it is. What does this actually indicate about the watch industry and the watch market? Due to the fact that fewer people are actually interested in purchasing watches from retail stores right now, in the end, even the brands will experience some of this drama. Because, let's be real here, these so-called flippers flipped 2 out of every 3 watches that left the ADs. But they actually don't have any stake in this business, which is the truth about them. Since this isn't their line of work, they don't really invest the time to study the process and devote themselves to it. It's merely a chance to acquire the timepieces and earn some cash. Some people would disagree and claim they wouldn't even be able to obtain one, let alone 3 Rolex watches. But now that we've had more time to reflect on the situation and the reasons behind it, we genuinely think it is the biggest move Rolex has ever made. And it will definitely work. We'll explain why. Rolex authorized dealers, if you didn't know, have essentially had the freedom and power to do anything, to literally sell their timepieces to whomever they like, which has been one of the biggest headaches for everyone in the watch industry for the last handful of years. But there are a lot who like to play by the rules. Now that everyone is aware of the existence of numerous trustworthy authorized dealers who appear to follow the rules, the bigger authorized dealers, not the real authorized dealers themselves, appear to be causing all the trouble. Specifically, the employees who, for one, managed to wrangle bonuses from their clients or incentives that were presented to them by their consumers. Over the past few years, a great deal of ADs have drastically reduced and honed their base of devoted, so-called preferred customers to the point where only a small number of people are purchasing the same watches week after week, month after month, completely strangling supply. Not just to those in the watch industry who wish to purchase these timepieces, but also to regular collectors, individuals who sincerely desire to purchase 2 or 3, possibly even more timepieces a year for their own authentic collections. So why did Rolex come up with this particular rule? Well, Rolex itself is the main reason for this new restriction because it clearly doesn't work for authorized dealers. This, in our perspective, is giving the ADs a loud and clear message that Rolex and Geneva have had enough. No more Mr. Nice Guy, no more fun and games, no more playing around. They clearly understand what's taking place and are mindful of it. Rolex is sending a clear message to their authorized dealers with this that enough is enough. Instead of continuing to serve the same favored clients, they must start engaging with the rest of the public. That is, your flipper buddies. Obviously, we're not implying in the slightest that this occurs regularly at each and every authorized dealer. It's clearly not. However, there can be no denying the fact that this has already been taking place. It has been happening. Can't say we blame them though. Everyone should act in the best interests of their family, most especially for themselves. Anyone who finds themselves in that so-called preferred customer scenario should not be ashamed. We don't condemn them for purchasing 5, 9, or even 10 watches per year and flipping them. Sure, ethically it's not the best thing ever, but they can't escape it, since 9 times out of 10 people will jump at the opportunity. Or these certain customers could be paying for their vacation, taking them on weekend getaways or music concerts. We'll never know. We're pretty sure Rolex is aware of this. Once they review the purchase registrations, names, and addresses, they will notice that the same individuals consistently pop up. Rolex has gone far enough with their authorized dealers since, surprisingly, what upsets Rolex upsets their authorized dealers as well. ADs detest hearing that someone is profiting off of them. They are aware that it is taking place, they just don't want to know more. They dislike being enlightened. And here's the catch. We suspect that Rolex genuinely approves of their authorized dealers profiting extra from their preferred customers, as some of them do. Talk about daring. There will undoubtedly be collectors who are accustomed to purchasing 4, 5, or 6 watches annually. Guess what? That won't take place anymore. To be able to afford or be in the position to purchase more than 5 Rolex watches annually makes you one lucky individual, in our point of view. Since we need to take care of the entire watch community, it is high time for them to consider the people who simply want to get their first ever dream Rolex, but are unable to do so since these folks have been snatching up far too many. Regardless of whether you're a collector or a flipper, this is a daring move from Rolex. Checkmate. And if what we're getting is accurate, new registers of interest from clients searching for sports watches are no longer being accepted by authorized Rolex dealers, or should we say, Rolex itself. Now, that order definitely didn't come from Rolex. The ADs are stating what timepieces we can actually sell to our favored customers. In order to serve them and ensure that we receive our bonuses, incentives, and additional jewelry sales, among other things, we're going to be trying to hold back. It's a pretty intriguing thing that this must happen before they can acquire their Rolex. What impact will it have in the long run? We've heard allegations that some dealers are actually holding on to some popular models because they aren't selling them to new customers. Since everyone on their books has purchased at least 3 timepieces during the past 12 months, and now that is prohibited, if Rolex can't sell more than 3 watches to their flipper buddies each year, then this will have a significant impact on the retail Rolex industry in the long run. In other words, Rolex will need to start looking for new clients. The tables have turned. Goodbye to all of the Rolex flippers, all of those people who started making their way into the ADs and believed they could purchase a Rolex watch and sell it the next day. Those days are over. It's time that Rolex intervenes and puts an end to these flippers, the preferred client madness, and the yearly countless sales to a single customer. It is expected that prices will return to where they were last year, which were mostly high but healthy. Now that things are slowing down or normalizing, everything has clearly cooled off. In fact, the watch market experienced exponential price growth in the first quarter of this year, pushing prices to levels that are nearly beyond comprehension. A lot of fly-by-night watch dealers and watch flippers are definitely going to suffer as a result of this correction.